they found a tumour. It was 5 centimetres. It was this side of my colon, symptoms, my descending colon, the left side of your abdomen, and it's just heartbreaking. I couldn't ring him and tell him when they found the tumour, because saying the words at the time for me just felt so alien, and it made it feel real. So I just texted him the report: go home, beat it, come back, and we'll still all be here.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
How's your openness and emotions been throughout that? Because that's so much to take on.
July 2024, I started having symptoms, stage 2 it was, and I'm a year in remission. So as far as I'm aware, I'm okay. But the message there, and what I want to tell people is, your listeners, is had I not used my voice, I don't think I'd be sat here opposite you right now.
The listening part is just as important, if not more important, than the talking.
Yeah. Having that safe space and building those connections with people you trust, it just can change your life. It can change your life. And it changed mine, for sure.
Yeah.
I think as men, we don't speak enough about what we should speak about. Does that make sense? Like we're so worried that other people are going to think or say. And I think if you can just speak about what's on your mind, you can empower yourself and you can be better at what you do. So, for example, when everything happened with me, when I was diagnosed, the first thing I wanted to do was not tell anyone, because I was ashamed.
Straight away. That was your feeling.
Yeah,
like, I'm not telling
ashamed.
anyone.
I'm ashamed. Like because I'm 30 years old, I shouldn't have this, and it's scary, right? And then the first person you tell, it gets easier, and it gets a bit more easier, and the weight comes off. You know, I think I'm more worried about their reaction than anything else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah,
interesting.
So.
I mean, I probably should think about it more, but I really, over the years, I've got to this point where I don't worry so much about what others think about me. I don't. I really like. It's not even in my peripheral. Like I'm just like, look. And if I've done something, if I've said something in an incorrect way, or maybe my tone's not, absolutely okay, all right, I apologise and stuff like that. But if I've just said something normally, and they've taken that, then that's on them.
It comes with experience, doesn't it, in life and age and things. Because when you're younger, you're more self-conscious, I think.
Yeah, I think you are.
And then as you get older, and kind of you're desensitized to what people's opinions are. Does that make sense?
You kind of find your way in the world, don't you?
Yeah, you navigate your way through.
You understand people more as well.
And the more you do talk and use your voice, and the more people listen, more importantly, it's having that safe space and building those connections with people you trust, but not being afraid to build new connections with people you might not think can handle it. So the amount of people I've spoken to about my situation, immediately people are going, oh, it's taboo, cancer's taboo, talking about pillars taboo and things. And people just listen and they're receptive and they understand that this does happen and it's real. And if I talk about it, that weight is off my shoulder, and I'm also empowering them because they're now aware of it. Yeah. Not many people think you get this sort of thing.
Yeah. So talk to me about your situation then. So this all came about in July 24, was it?
Yeah. So July 2024, I started having symptoms. The normal symptoms you would expect if you had piles or a fissure or something, it was a little bit of bright red blood. Yeah. And naturally, I'm 30 years old, I'm thinking, is it an age thing? This never happened to me before. This is what happens when you get to 30.
Is this, hit 30, oh, here we go.
Yeah, so I go downstairs and I tell my partner works here at Next, she's a PA, she's amazing, but I went downstairs and I said, I've had a bit of blood, Lauren. And do you know what she said? Immediately, go to the doctor. You know what we say as men?
I'll be all right. I'll be all right. No, it's just a one-time thing.
I'm sure it's just a thing,
it's a
right?
one-time thing.
So I didn't go to the doctor. 2-3 weeks pass, and this is happening intermittently, on and off, little bits, nothing, the littlest bit. And I go, so Lauren, it's happened again. Right, we're going doctors. She drags me to the doctors. But the point in this is, had I not said anything to her, I wouldn't have went to the doctors.
Yeah, very true.
What I'm saying?
Even just kind of...
I'm a man, I can deal with this on my own.
But as men, though, don't you think sometimes that's the way we actually kind of say to people, I'm worried about this, by just saying, oh, this has happened. That's you actually going, deep down, you're like...
Asking for help, aren't you?
Yeah,
you're asking for help. You're asking for some guidance, some help. I wanted her to reassure me that it's normal. is what I wanted.
Yeah. You want to.
Oh, I get that all the time,
Yeah,
Chris.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
No, she
yeah.
sent me to the doctors. I went to the doctors and they didn't believe me. They said, I'm not losing weight. I'm fit. I'm young. And this is not criticism to the healthcare system. To be fair, I was fit. I was extremely fit. I was at the gym 5 days a week. I didn't lose weight. It was a little bit of blood. So the natural diagnosis would be or fissure or hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
They do the examination. They can't find anything. So I go, okay, it's fine. Take that. I take that as it is. I go home. We had an engagement planned. Well, I had an engagement planned to go to Rome, and we did that. And during that trip, it got worse, progressively worse.
Right. Quite quickly as well. Or?
Yeah. So August, it was the symptoms. In September, we went to Rome. As it got worse, she said yes to the engagement. By the way, it was a very amazing time. But as we get towards the end of the holiday, it's getting really worse. So I go home. We fly home, and I pay private for a colonoscopy because this is not normal. Right? It's not normal. They found a tumor. It was 5 centimeters. It was this side of my colon, symptoms, my descending colon, the left side of your abdomen, and it's just heartbreaking. My partner's in the other room, and this all started with me going, "Oh, I've got a little bit of red blood, and now I've got cancer or suspected cancer." As a man, you feel ashamed, I think, but I felt ashamed because she didn't ask for this. She just said yes to marry me. I'm on my own here, and now I might be leaving her, because that's what happens when you get diagnosed with cancer. So I thought, fast tracking a little bit. We did the biopsies, they did the scans, and there were some complications, but ultimately after the operation, it had not spread. It was contained.
Okay.
It was the best prognosis I could have had for the size it was.
Yeah.
Stage 2 it was. And I'm a year in remission. So as far as I'm aware, I'm okay. But the message there, and what I want to tell people is, your listeners, is had I not used my voice, I don't think I'd be sat here opposite you right now, Matt, if I'm honest. I think I would have been I can do this myself. I'm a big boy, and I'm not going to talk to anyone. And that's if I had not had that connection with my partner. It doesn't have to be your partner. It can be a colleague, a friend. It could be your parents, grandparents. Just someone. If you've got something on your mind that you feel is internalizing and it's weighing on your shoulders, you need to say something.
And how's that? How's your openness and emotions been throughout that? Because that's so much to take on. Like you said there, like when you got diagnosed, obviously instantly you're thinking,
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you hear, isn't it? And you're in this room, and they put you in this room, and they go, it's this size. You might need chemotherapy, and they start chucking these words around. And to answer your question, I'm still feeling it now. Like it doesn't end just because you're in remission. It doesn't. Well, you think about it, it is very unlikely, but it could come back. And then you've got the weight of that on your shoulders. And today I'm talking to you guys now, but tomorrow I'll be talking to my parents. I'll be talking to my partner, or her family's been very good as well. They housed me after the operation, but I'll be talking to them because if you don't talk, you dwell and you think about it. And the biggest message I can say as well, as part of all this, is you could ask why for the rest of the time. I could ask why did this happen to me?
Yeah.
For the rest of the time. And I do, and I did. But now I ask, but what can I do about it?
Okay.
So it's happened, but what can I do about it now? And what that means is it could be any sort of situation. You can apply this to any situation, but if you have the right mindset, you can overcome it. And if you have the right people around you, have that village around you, you can really beat anything, challenge anything. So
what has been that next step for you? Like, what were the ways you kind of dealt with it and kind of have pushed forward or are dealing with it? Sorry.
Yeah, sure. So I'm doing things, I'm stepping outside my comfort zone for sure.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I would not have done this last year.
No.
But when you've done something, like when you've had operations and people prod and poke you do anything, I tell you. I'm talking about it, which I've mentioned.
Yeah.
And I'm empowering myself and other people. So I've got my own personal socials. I'm trying to raise awareness. I did it was 4 months after my operation, which is major surgery. I ran 100 miles in May.
Wow.
Raised
go you.
£2,000.
That's awesome.
Right? Yeah, £2,000.
That's awesome.
And that was to prove to myself that I'm not broken. I can do this. And
right. Okay.
I think as well as using your words, you can do, if you're healthy and fit enough, exercise is the best way of getting endorphins.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
It can never hurt you to exercise as long as you do it safely, and if you do it in your own way, progressively and things. And that, when I was diagnosed, you're not going to believe this, Matt. When I was diagnosed, the day after I woke up after being really sad, obviously, and I ran.
No, I can see that. I get that.
I got about half a mile around the corner
Oh,
and was puffed out, but I ran.
Yeah.
And then I never stopped because I knew the operation was coming. So every other day I was running. And I think that's what you can do, you know.
was that almost like a mindset of before the operation, I want to be in the fittest possible way to go in there to give my body the best possible chance?
It was that, but it was also the doctors at the time couldn't tell me how bad it was. They could tell me I had cancer. They could tell me that they'd seen things in the lungs on the scans, which could be or could not be the cancer. And my ethos around that was, well, if I can run around the block, I don't have cancer. And if I can keep running, I don't have cancer. And if I do have cancer, I'm going to beat it in any which way I can. And my running was getting better. So that naturally in my head, I was thinking, I can't have cancer in my lung. You know, it can't be this far gone. It turns out it wasn't. It was something called sarcoidosis, which is inflammation in the lungs. That was an incidental finding.
Okay.
This problem with these scans, they can cause more anxiety than they're worth.
Really?
Yes, they can, yeah.
Really?
They can. They scan your whole body and they find all sorts of
So
benign
as soon
things.
as that's been aware, it's like, right, we need to check
Did
everything.
the PET scan, did the CT scan, did the MRIs. They did, had to do biopsies of my lungs, EBUS procedure. They take a tube down your throat and go in your lungs and things, yeah.
Really?
It's crazy.
What are they doing with that then?
So they found some nodules. You got some lymph nodes. I won't get too
Yes,
excited, but they got some healer lymph nodes.
Are they those like where they look like little?
Yeah, like your beans all around your body,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And the way cancer in the bowel cancer works is it goes through your serosa, which is the outer layer of your bowel wall, and then it can go into lymph nodes and blood vessels and things. The lymphatic drainage system is your liver. So it goes to your liver, and then it goes to your lungs, and to the brain. That's normally where it goes. I've done my research.
I can tell.
So when it does this, they do the scans to check if it's there, and the scans can pick up anything. They can pick up just benign nodules and things. So for me, it just picked up loads of benign stuff that wasn't that serious for me in correspondence to cancer, and it just caused a lot of anxiety and stress and worry. And for months, you just don't tell you. You know, they said I could have lymphoma, a separate cancer. They said it could be sarcoidosis, which it was. So it could be the bowel cancer spreading. And you're just on your own dealing with this, you know, just hearing this news. And you know, I've got 3 kids. I've got a 1, 2, and 6-year-old. And then my oldest, he was asking me all sorts of questions because he knew something was. They know the kids.
Yeah.
They know.
Even without you saying anything, they just they could just tell from the kind of the vibe and the energy that you're giving that there's something not right here.
My oldest is very receptive and perceptive to things. And I remember eating breakfast and he sat down and I had nuts, yogurt, and all these chia seeds and things, fiber and things, good for the gut, right? Because of this diagnosis. And he looks at me and he goes, Daddy. I says, yes. He goes, is that because of your tummy? And obviously part of you dies and part of you goes,
oh, God,
how does he know this? And I said, it is, yeah. And he goes, is your tummy okay? And then I had to explain to him, you know, I am okay now, and this thing is bad and needs to come out of me, and that's what I'm trying to do. And he goes, are you going to go to heaven? I kid you not, he says this.
Really? How old is he?
6.
Wow.
6. But bear in mind, there was phone calls from my dad, from my grandparents, people coming over. He hears things right, without you thinking, and it's a big guilt I had. And I said, I couldn't say to him, no, that's lying. I didn't know. I just said, well, I'm trying my very best not to.
Yeah.
And he knows Daddy got it out, and he knows Daddy's okay now and things. But it's all these mental burdens you have, you know, with it. It's not just cancer.
But that's quite big as well for, you know, going back to the start, what we're saying about around how to talk, to have that very, very honest conversation and open conversation with a 6-year-old.
In a way that's appropriate.
As well, is hard to do, but also you kind of hope that teaches your son the same sort of aspect to be more open as well, I guess.
You've got to be, yeah. He would know if I lied. He'd know.
Yeah,
He'd go, well, you've said this, and now I can hear you saying this. He's not.
Yeah,
you know,
he's not
smart
stupid.
lad. He's a smart lad, yeah. And if you didn't know immediately, he would know eventually, you see. So I don't want my kids thinking I would lie to protect them, but it's one of those things where it's you have to, obviously don't confide in your kids, but you have to confide in your family as much as you can. And the way Next have dealt with things was amazing, to be honest, because I was diagnosed and my boss knew loosely what was going on. Loosely, not being a pun. But I texted him. I couldn't ring him and tell him when they found the tumor because saying the words at the time for me just felt so alien and it made it feel real. So I just texted him the report and I just said, it's not good. And he just went, I've just put you in 2 weeks absent, don't come into work, do what you need to do, and then to connect with me when you can. And he just completely took the work stress away.
No questions asked, nothing.
Asked. You are looked after.
That's amazing.
And he took it away and I gathered my thoughts, I gathered myself, and I rang him back up 2 weeks later and I said, I want to come back. And he goes, but you can't come back. And I said, but I want to, I'm not feeling poorly. So I did go back under a lot of, observation and things. And then when I had the operation, I was off again and then was back in the January. I had the operation in November and I was back in January. And after I was back. I was ready to go. To me, it was something that just needed to come out of me, and I'm moving on from it.
Have you always been in that mindset of trying to kind of be looking ahead and be proactive and preoccupied? Not with this, but I'm just like
no, it's
generally.
a coping mechanism. It's
but that's what I mean.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Is that your coping mechanism?
It's being distracted. Yeah. It's being busy. My partner will say, I know something wrong because you're busy. I walk in, you're washing up, and then you're hoovering, and then you're cleaning very aggressively. She knows there's something still with me. You can read me like a book. So, and I think that's my coping mechanism. It's good and it's bad, but I think the positives are you are busy and you can do what you need to do, but the negatives are you need to look after yourself.
Yeah.
You need to be aware that this is just a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. But I mean, work was really good. They were really good with how they dealt with things.
Because you're in the technology team, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. You're a
so
senior.
I work as support. So it's pretty amazing what we do, actually. We so if anything goes wrong, we're the firefighters of next within the e-com tech space.
Okay.
So if something goes wrong, we go and find out what's gone wrong. We look at how we can mitigate customer impact, and we escalate where appropriate to other teams. So essentially, if something's broken on the website, we're the guys that see it first and resolve it. And it's such an exciting team to be in. It's so exciting. And, we collaborate with a lot of other teams as well. It's amazing what we do. Yeah, it's amazing.
How long have you been here?
4 years.
4 years, nice.
Yeah, 4 years. I've started off in another team and then moved over to support. And we're actually doing a lot more. So we're looking at errors and things on the website. You have to use certain technologies to do that. So we're now trying to incorporate AI into that as well, which is exciting. So it's really a good space to be at the moment in the current emerging technologies. Yeah.
And what's like because you've already touched on the culture and the relationships with your manager. What's that like around all of technology? Because a lot of people don't know as well that we've actually got a massive tech team, haven't we?
Huge.
Like it's huge.
It's massive. It's massive.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, it was. While it was all ongoing, like kind of the diagnosis stuff, I remember my PGM at the time, he's not here now, he's retired, but he was just like, pulled me to the side and was like, what are you doing here? Go home. Go home. But they're just so welcoming and they encourage any sort of growth, honestly. Like this AI project I'm working on at the moment, I went to my boss and I said, look at this, what we can do here. And he looked at it and long story short, it's enhancing our observability around Next and picking up on things quicker than what a human could do because it's doing it all night, all the time.
Yeah.
So, and then they encourage you to do that. It's an idea that you can run with and you can grow and develop. And I don't think many companies would do that.
No,
not trust someone to do that.
No. Have you felt that from day one as well? Yeah, pretty much.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Pretty much. They've been. I mean, I've grown within the team. So I've moved teams and grown and moved up to more, to a senior position now. And I don't think in 4 years, I don't think the room for growth on other companies would allow that basically.
Yeah.
It's not something that, I don't think career progression happens quite quickly, Yeah.
And you've mentioned a couple of eyes there. Obviously, everyone's been aware or known of like what you diagnosed when you were diagnosed and stuff like that. What of those conversations with other have they been? Have they been easy or have they been like? Yeah.
No, they've been. There's a bit daunting when you go back to work and you've had something like this. And at the start, I was ashamed. I think not when I went back to work, but when I was first diagnosed. But when I walked in, it was very welcoming. I had lots of comfort from my team, and I know the account managers in my department. There was a meeting in my calendar. I thought, why have I got on a meeting with the account managers? I've never met them properly, unless something goes wrong, And they were going in their office, and they just sat me down and was like, "You okay?"
That was it.
You're okay, yeah. And it was just, we're here. if you need anything, we're here. You can walk out any point, and we will look after you. So, I mean, I didn't. I enjoyed it. But one of the guy that left, he was brilliant. He was my product group manager at the time. He said to me, "Go home, beat it, come back, and we'll still all be here."
Yeah.
And I said, "That will happen."
Yeah.
That's how it happened. So I did eventually go home.
You did. You did. You did.
They told me so much. You have to
Yeah.
go home. I did eventually.
Yeah.
But,
Like kind of focus on that for the time being. Like,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. It was good.
And then you've mentioned there before, then that's kind of spurred you on to kind of get this motivation to now start being more open and push out the boundaries. So what's that in the form? Like what's that look like?
So to me, it doesn't have to be cancer, right? It can be anything, but
Yes.
I'm more aware of what other people say to me. So what I mean by that is, as men, if someone goes, "Hey, you okay?" You go, "Yeah, I'm fine." You might not be, but yeah, I'm fine. I don't want to bother.
Go-to, right?
I don't want to bother
it's
this.
the go-to,
I'm fine. They don't really care, or they don't want to listen. And I think for me, it's if you, Matt, said to me, "I've had a really bad day," and I don't really know. I met you today. If you have a really bad day, I'll go, "Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's, don't have to go into the intricacies if you don't want to, but I can still hear you and empathise with you. And I think that's what I think. It's you are allowed to speak, but you're also allowed to hear. You allow yourself to hear.
I agree.
If everyone actually, not men, did, the world would be a nicer place, wouldn't it?
100%. 100%.
I have it with my partner. My partner will tell me an issue or a grievance or something, and I will just try and fix it. As a man, we try and fix things.
Yes.
Like we're very logical. Let's fix this situation. Whereas I think what she actually wants is me to sit there and go, "It's okay, and I'm here, and we'll fix it later. But right now, I'm here, and you can talk to me." I think that's...
Yeah, don't you think that the list... I mean, I've learned this so much probably over the last recent time, 2-3 years, that the listening part is just as important, if not more important
100%.
than the talking.
Yeah.
Because if all the time you're talking, you're not really having a conversation. And that's one thing from this as well. It's really developed me with it as well. Like before I was like, we'd always wanted to do a podcast. We were always like, oh, it's a great way to, it's a new way of talking about next that's a bit more relaxed and authentic and, all of that. And we were like, we were talking to the team like, who's going to host it? What do we do? And it's like, well, can't just get a presenter in for that because we're just starting. So it's like, right, I'll give it a go. And then if it kicks on, like we can look at getting someone or doing whatever. And I think where we've got to is now that everyone's like, oh, do you enjoy it at the start? I was like, yes, okay. And now I'm genuinely like, I do enjoy it.
I mean, hearing all these stories is fantastic.
Yeah, I know,
I mean, all these people.
I know.
And it's like,
I know.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. And I mean, in terms of mental health, like, I know you're the podcast. How do you deal with this? How do you talk? Do you feel like you have?
I didn't used to. So one of the things I started doing was exercising more. I always exercised, but now it's like core of my life. It's not like, oh, I just exercise. It's a big
It's a
part.
routine. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's
I have to.
It's like
do
brushing
it.
your teeth.
Yeah, I have to do it. I feel so good. Sometimes I feel awful when I'm doing it because I'm pushing my body, but I will get that buzz from it. I will get those endorphins. Yeah, it's so good.
I think that's the important thing to remember, isn't it? It's you could have 5, 10, 30 people, but we'd all do it differently. And it's making sure whatever we do is safe, but also you have someone with you to help you on that journey. When I say to someone about the cancer, I go, it's off my shoulders, and they go, because they're not heard, have you got cancer? And then it's new to them, but for me, it's kind of, I'm removing that burden off me. And at the same time, I'm empowering them because they're learning about it and they're hearing about it. And then maybe they might open up to me, well, you know what, I've had a bit of blood. This happened to me. Okay, well, don't worry. It's very normal.
To be fair, when you did say it, I did think, I don't know why, just in my mind, without even thinking, just playing it back, which is weird to think, but have I?
Of course.
Yeah, like straight away.
But it's not weird because you see someone who's 30 opposite you and you go, this guy doesn't look like he's poorly or was poorly.
No.
Like, 12 months ago. And so you naturally do that because you're self-evaluating your situation.
100%.
And then if you have had some blood, then you're hearing my story and you're going, well, this guy's doing what he's doing. He's on TikTok or he's on a podcast and he's talking about it. So if he can do that, I can go to the doctors and talk to a GP. And so if one person does that from this podcast, or not just with the cancer, but with speaking about how they're feeling, or if there's anything that's worrying them, if they can talk to someone about it based on what we're talking about now, I think we've done the right thing.
Oh, I 100% agree. Like you say, it's not just related to health or mental health or anything. It's just whatever's in your world making you feel
valid, like heard, and exercising, like you see with the exercising, it's really good, and it just can change your life. And it changed mine for sure.
Yeah.
Right. I don't,
Yeah, 100%. Well, I appreciate you coming on and sharing that. I think it's very, very brave thing to do and just share because, like you say, we know people don't. I speak to men all day and women as well, and you know something's wrong, but they're just not in that stage. I think that's the main thing we're trying to get across with this. If just talk and share with the people that you're comfortable with.
That's it. Well, thank you for having me as well.
No worries.
I appreciate it.
No, thanks for coming on.
Cheers, mate.